It's going to say recording is on. Hang on.
Recording is on.
Okay, there we go. Tell me.
So he's my stepson. He didn't talk to us off and on for a number of years. He actually just reconnected with us about a month ago.
Oh.
His new wife, who was kind of unfriendly with our family, actually reached out and apologized to us. So we are in communication with him and got to meet our 2-year-old granddaughter that we had never met before.
So that's the family that they're okay. Yeah. So there is.
Am I supposed to see you? I just see a green screen.
Yeah, you should see me. It may be the internet on that side. Yeah, I am here, and I can see you great, and I can see myself. So I know it's working. Just give it a couple of seconds. It may pop in. It depends on like the bandwidth on that side as well. So give it just a couple of seconds. Have you not been able to see me at all?
No, I could see you just up until when you hit record.
Okay. Just keep it for a second. It'll pop back in. Hang on. I promise.
I can hear you though.
So there you go. That'll work. And you'll be able to see me on the recording fully. It should pop back in. If not, I'll hang up and then come back in too. But it's weird because I can see myself and you both. So this is a whole thing with him. I mean, he could be communication style with both of you. Both of you are very proud. He's more proud and boastful. You're more steadfast and like you mean it. You're going to do it. Call it a day. Hang on. He can be very stubborn. That's a big thing for him to come back into life. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing. So I'm just going to kind of break down his chart first, and then we'll also get into feelings as well. So I want you to look at when it comes to charts, and then we'll do channeling too, kind of all mixed together. So people talk about, astrology all the time. First, it's not just that. I don't. People always assign animals and all this crap to it. It's not about an animal. What it is how when you have the moon and it pulls the tides of the oceans in, right? It has this amount of like power and energy. So what happens is that there's these other larger celestial bodies that also have that same pull, but they're 100 times bigger than it. So they emit a certain frequency. And what it pretty much is like these frequencies were all in this one array or this one sector that creates who you are. Kind of like there's 18 different ingredients in a cake and they're all put together and that's what a cake is, right? So it's like you're a whole bunch of different frequencies. They're all put in differently and that's kind of what creates. So different frequencies do different things and they also interact differently with other people just because of the fact that that's what happens and that's how relationships are formed. So he, first off, you are ultimate, like, I like that you've been married for that long because you're like the ultimate family person. You're the get it done person, but then you're the also like, let's just be friends. Let's get over it. But then you can also like flip back and forth between the two. You're like, okay, let's get over it. Let's move forward, blah, blah, blah. You don't really care for conflict. You don't really like it, but like you'll buck up and really tell your part and tell them how to get it done. Like you're not afraid to speak your mind. A thing with him, so your communication style, so that's what we would call or associate Mercury with, which is the planet, is in Leo. So what does that mean? That means it's proud, you're upfront, like you'd be really good is like management all the way through, or like head of household and like getting things done, keeping people in line, like delegating things out. Another thing with that, his communication style is in Taurus, which means that he gets very proud and he doesn't like to be told what to do.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And think of Taurus as a bull, and that's how they are as well. So like bullheaded. So they don't like to be knocked off their feet either. So emotional case. So this is where I guess people would like to attach it to the moon. So this is like your inner emotional workings and how you feel internally to people that are around you or in your circle. So like husband, son, stuff of that nature. So yours is in Gemini. So you're fun. You go back and forth. You're a very bright person. You can have almost like two sides of you. So you can be very fun, excited, happy, but then at the same time, you can get a little bit darker and more depressed. So it's like very back and forth. His moon is in Leo. So if you or if dad says anything to pop his bubble, he's just going to recluse and shy away. Like he could get,
Exactly. Yeah.
he can be very proud and he'll tuck his tail between his legs, but he won't tell you he's doing it. And then he'll act like it's your fault.
Exactly. Yeah.
And because that's what he does. So the way of getting him out of that is with both of these are words of affirmation. And I kind of also want to look at the husband too to see how that plays in with him. So words of affirmation are a big thing. Like, I accept you, I love you, I can't wait for you to come back in, like to be really open. But then he can be really he could be really mean if he wants to, but then at the same time, so his ascendant, so what he wants to be, his is in Cancer. So your sun sign, so your main sign, so who you are is in Cancer. So y'all really vibe on this whole like family dynamic, like let's keep people together, let's keep things going, like why can't we make it kosher? Except he has a funny way of showing it. So he's going to be like fiercely protective over his little family. But he can also be very manipulative, and you are too as well. But you're really into keeping the dynamic good and positive in your environment. And so this probably drove you absolutely batty and nuts. Because it's like, why can't we, you're saying for me would be like, why can't we be friends? Like, that's it. Or, you know, get your shit and get out, one or the other. With how you fight too. So this is where it's so funny because you and him are, this is interesting because y'all are definitely, this is going to be a learning relationship for both of y'all. Is this the first time y'all have really interacted together?
Well, I mean, I've known him since he was 7.
So little. Okay. So it's been, how long has it been since y'all have been back in his life now?
About like a month and a half.
And how long was he gone for?
Probably 3 years.
My gosh. Okay. That would make sense with how the other placements go. So his Venus, so how he loves or how he wants to take care of people is very hot. So he moves very fast. So he would be somebody that either apologizes very quickly and just gets over it, but then that Cancer behind it means he holds grudges for a long time. And then your Venus is in Gemini. So you're like, okay, good. I'm glad you're back. I love you. Let's move on. Like, come on. Like, we don't need to hold grudges. Let's go, you know, which to him can come across as being almost, like that you're just ignoring everything, and you're not. You just don't have time for it. You're like, whatever, right? You're also a really good person in love, and I'd be interested to see how you and your husband vibe and get along together as well, because you always need to have some sort of attention going on, or I think maybe because you've changed, because you've gotten a little, like, we've matured more and like grown up more too, but you always have to have something going on in love, or there always has to be something coming towards you. And you're also a very mindful person. So like communication is a really big thing for you too. How you fight. So how you, I guess you'd say battle, or even like your work style, that also falls in Cancer as well. So again, think of crab, think of home, think of family, think of love. So it's all about like, protection. So whenever somebody tries to fight or get in your circle and they're really, really mean, you either shut down or you lock them out. You're like, done. You kind of try to push them away. And then he, God, did he get into a lot of mischief and stuff when he was younger?
No, not at all. It was just the opposite.
Really? Because his Mars is in Gemini, which means usually they go around to like 90 or 100 different places. It's always like boop, 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 boop.
No, he traveled a lot, and he was involved in a lot of things.
Okay.
So he's been, he's never gotten in trouble or anything,
But he was just involved with many, many things, because Gemini is all about mind and thought and doing as much stuff as we possibly can, even if it's too much, like just always being in things. And then with, oh, that's cool. You're a really good person for him, because y'all are totally grounding. So what you're trying to become later on, and I think that's what you've already become now, is your North Node. And then we'll get into channeling next, but your North Node, so what you're trying to aspire to be, is in Taurus. So it's exactly how he communicates. So you're steadfast, you're true, you're loyal, you don't move, you don't budge, you call it as it is, you keep it there. You'd be really, have you done management?
I'm in management now.
Okay, I was like, because you would be amazing in that. So I'm glad that you're in it now, because that's where you need to be. And then his North Node, so where he needs to be, is actually in Pisces. So what that means is that he's trying to find, or he will find, almost like the deeper meaning, like that superficiality is not the key. Like his big thing is like finding family, finding almost like being okay with being still, and being okay with being present, and calming down, and realizing that don't take things too seriously. Don't, take things with a grain of salt. Just move on and kind of go with the flow. And I think with who you are and with how he is, I think that would be pretty good. Now, he also carries some not so desirable traits, which goes along with how his quote unquote shadow side would be. So that's in Libra. So what does that mean? That means that he can be very quick to make decisions. That means he can just cut people off and not care. That means he can try to get people to rally around his corner for absolutely no reason, to just trying to protect him. That can also mean that he absolutely doesn't like conflict, so he'll like shove everything off and act like it doesn't exist, which is why the whole like 3-year thing cutting off. That means also he can be very, very flighty. So he can just he can not like conflict so much that he will just leave and go.
I get that. Yep.
Yeah. And so your shadow side, so what would be, and it's cool because you've graduated from that. Yours is in Pisces. So that means you take on the negative traits on that, and that's what you're trying to grow out of. So being indecisive, or letting people go with things that they shouldn't be doing. Like when people say something to you, you're like, well, that's fine. Now you're more like, no, you don't do that. It's much more settled, but it's, hold on.
What?
Is the baby, is the new kid, is she under 2?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Who is this woman? There's a woman coming through. Hang on.
Well, he's married.
No, it's a dead person. Hold on.
Oh gosh.
No, you're fine. Hang on. Let's see. Hang on. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Because some people are like, oh no. I'm like, oh, they're there.
Well, I'm just thinking there's lots of dead women I know. So
I know. Well, we're gonna sec it out. You can just, so until I ask them to come through, you can feel if they're feminine or masculine. And then you start to ask, like, where are they tied to? And like, who are they tied to? And where do they go? And like all of this. Hang on. Let me go. Hold on. Before I get into that, because then that's going to be a whole nother tangent. I want to look at your husband real quick. Because once I get into channeling, there's no going back. It's just me, and it's like you go down a hallway and you don't leave. What is his date of birth?
4/16/64.
Okay.
And he's an Aries too.
Oh man.
And he's very stubborn, just like his son, but in a good.
He probably has a lot of Taurus, so we'll get in that. And then what? Do you know what city? Was he born in California as well?
Yeah, Pomona.
Okay. Oh, Pomona. Okay. Oh, all these places. See, I would love to move to California if they didn't take half of my money for state taxes.
Yeah, we just moved from California to Houston. I'm over California.
Oh my God! Wait, well, welcome into the darker side of life. It's great.
Yeah, I love it. I love it here.
It is, except for the mosquitoes that come get you in the summer, but that's why you only stay. Yeah,
they did.
They will wear you off. Now, so my husband's from California, like I said, and so he moved here, and he was just like, he goes, you know, the first 2 years I didn't know how to deal with the humidity. But every single time now we go back for like 2 weeks, it's great. You don't have to put on lotion anymore. That's the
Yep.
whole. Mm-hmm. Oh, he is. Look at that. Hang on. This is funny how we compare everything. Hold on. So, oh, this is in the perfect placement. Yeah. Okay. So you and hubby, um, wow. So he's an Aries, you're a Cancer, which is good. You kind of calm him down, right? So you bring in that more like mothering. I'm gonna make sure you're okay. Grab you by your hair, sit you down. This is what's going to happen. His moon actually matches yours. He's in Gemini, so he's a get up and go person as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So you and him, so you and him are equal inside of that. His ascendant, so what he likes to be, he's in Leo. So man, y'all are all, it's almost like the way that your placements are, you could be this guy's mom. Like it matches up so well, which is probably why y'all have been together for so long. Your husband's ascendant is in Leo, so he's an Aries Leo, which means he also needs a lot of words of affirmation as well. But he's also okay with standing on his own. So his communication style is just like his son's. It's also in Taurus. So they can kind of butt heads. And he the one that pushed him away more?
No, I mean my husband didn't really push him away. He just set a boundary with him.
There. Okay. So the other one's the younger one, so that would make sense because their communication style is the exact same. You and your husband's love signs are the exact same, which means that y'all vibe on that same level, which is perfect. Um, your fighting style is different.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Very different. Yours is like, why can't we be friends? I'm gonna shut down. His is an Aries. His fighting style and his work style is an Aries. So he gets so mad that he sees red. Um, you get very mad internally. I'm sure now you've been able to voice it more. He gets mad internally and just explodes. So unless he knows how to channel that, that can get him in trouble. It's funny, your husband's north node, so what he's trying to become is actually your sign. It's actually Cancer. So he can learn a lot from you. So it's like getting family back together, making sure they know like he's doing a good job, which is also probably why was it really hard for him to set that boundary with him?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
his son has had the tendency to just kind of put him on the shelf whenever he wants to.
Mhm.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
The son's always been loyal to his mom, and his mom's been real problematic and remains problematic. But 20 something years later, so I think it just got down to, it got to be too much dealing with mom and dad, and he just picked one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's understandable. But
Yeah.
he's an adult now, and he's married and on his own, so we'll have a separate relationship with him.
Definitely, especially now that he has his own family, he
Yeah.
can almost like understand it. It's different whenever you have a kid because then you can see how it can tear that apart. Like they'll have
Yeah.
more foresight and introspection on that. Your hold on, his so the sun's north node, so what he's trying to become is in Pisces, so that's water. And then your husband's is in Cancer as well, so it's water. So that's very, and you're going to be the stronghold that lasts out between all of them. Now, hold on. Does your husband own his own business by perhaps?
Well, we operate a business, him and I together.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Because he's a really good stronghold. You're the one I would almost say in a way like he would be the one with the ideas and pushing forward and like putting it, and you're the one working in the back, putting in the long hours, doing all this intense. Yeah, you're the rise and grind person.
Yeah.
He definitely. Oh, this is a good thing. Hang on. Let me get into. So now I'm going to start channeling as well. I want to get into who that woman is too. Hang on. I need to get more specs on her. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, both sides. There's a. Is his mother passed? Is your husband's mother passed?
Yeah, she passed a number of years ago.
Okay, cool. Because she's tying it to him. Hang on. Hang on. Was he really close with her?
Yeah, we took care of her, definitely.
Cool, perfect. Because she's tying like thank you. Like it's almost like she hangs around him, but like in this vicinity, which means that they were tied. Hang on. Give me her first name.
Teresa.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, were you married before?
Yes.
Okay. Whoever this other woman is tied with you, she's talking about, oh, he's a gentleman, he's a really good guy, and she's talking about like the first husband or something like that, like being a turkey. And so, hang on. I always have to channel one person at a time. So I'm like, where do I want to go? Which one? Hang on. Let me get Teresa first. Hang on. It's too cold for me. Wait. Hold on. Let's turn my. Okay, so Teresa, did y'all do hospice care for Teresa at your house too?
Yes.
Cool.
I
Okay,
was her
because she said,
caregiver for a number of years.
really? Okay, because she says, I had my own room. I said, okay. And then she says they set the place up like it was like my own hospital. Like, but did we end up having to move her to a front room or something like that?
We had to. She was in the house until she couldn't be anymore, and then we moved her about a mile away from the house.
Okay, because she's talking about setting. Okay, cool. Hang on. Did she have something to deal with her memory?
She had dementia and
Perfect.
Parkinson's.
Okay, cool. Because she just said it's, in my own words, she said, it's hell when you can't remember anything. So,
Yeah.
hold on. Better than my, wait, so your husband has a daughter? I mean, a sister?
He has a few sisters.
Cool. Okay.
3.
'Cause she's talking about you. Were you there more for her than his sisters?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she says she was like a daughter to me more than my own daughters, like pulling that forward.
That's true.
Yeah. She's very appreciative. She's like, I would give my own shirt off my back for that woman. Like, very. Hold on. She's talking about you being very kind. Hold on. She would get on them. Would you get on the staff at like this place or whatever it is? Would you get on them?
Oh, yeah,
All the
definitely.
time? Okay,
All the
because she's
time.
like, she would get on them. I'm like, oh, hang on. It was hard. It was hard for them to split their time. Was she in this other place for about a year before she passed?
A couple of years. I think just short of 3.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm asking her, I was like, did it go very quickly, like when you got there? And she's showing me like the seasons changing, and I'm like, oh, it took a while. Hang on. Hold on. Play me music. Would y'all play her music?
Sometimes, yeah.
It's okay. She's just naming. I'm asking her, like, give me memories, give me what's happening. Hang on. See, he was a good boy. Hold on. I was the one that had a lot to do with that. Nasty. She's saying, so your husband, she's saying when they got a divorce, it was a really nasty divorce. Him and
Oh,
his ex-wife.
my husband?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, his first wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ex-wife. She goes, she's talking about it. I said, so what did you have to think about that? She's like remembering the son and like how he's a lot younger. She's talking about it was a nasty divorce. Hang on. She's talking about you saved him. So you really came in and swooped in and you really saved him. What's your husband's name?
Mike.
Okay. Mike was going down. Wait. So were you the one that almost like helped set up this business and stuff like that and really form it or like assist him in doing it?
Well, yeah, we moved here to take over a business.
Okay. She's talking about how like you pushed him or like you were the big thing and like assisting him and like moving him into, but you're definitely, if I was going to say, you're definitely the grounding force involved in all this. Hang on. Hold on. Wash my hair. Bring me new clothes. Wait, so her husband passed?
Yeah, my father-in-law. He passed before her.
Yeah, because she says my husband was waiting for me.
Yeah, I believe that.
And she's talking about like, I don't know how, this is interesting when it comes to like dementia and stuff like that, patients, because they show themselves to me like their body is there, it's alive, but it's almost like they're waiting in queue. They're like, all right, come on, like, let's go, we're ready to go. And she's showing me like sitting in this queue, like just being able to see them and wanting to go, but it wasn't time yet. So I don't know how long she was just in this more like vegetative state.
Yeah, probably a couple of years.
Yeah, because she's talking about being there and how she's completely almost like dead to the world. But then she's just like waiting in queue, waiting, waiting to go. Hang on. Oh, we had fun. Hang on. Wait, were they, was his dad military?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. She says he was a military brat. I was like, hang on. I like her. Tell her thank you. She's a good person.
She was a great person.
She is. She's very soft and light, but she's right on point. Hang on.
She had a great sense of humor.
She's talking about having fun. She's talking about like having fun in the heyday. She's talking about how she could get up and go. She's showing me like dancing. She's showing me like how she's just zesty now. She doesn't even show me like whenever I ask her to show me her form, like when she passed, she almost like shows me almost like an infantile type of position, and then she shows me back to when she's like 20, like very different. Hang on.
Yeah.
Roaring 50. No. She grew up. Hold on. Hold on. Was she born in like 39?
Yeah, I think she was.
Okay. Check with me on that, just because I'm asking her. I'm like, play me the music from like your era, and she's showing me like late 50s, early 60s, like that area. And so I'm like, okay, so that means you're like 20 at that point. And then I'm trying to do, you know, hang on. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if this is correct or not. Were we hoping an infection would get her?
An infection?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. That's why I'm like, I don't know what that is. Did she suffer from bladder infections a lot?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
It got to the point where she had one consistently. That it was I can't remember the term. Like once you get them, they just when you're old they stay with you.
Really, it got that. Okay, because
Yeah,
she's associating that with either
her
wishing.
her dementia.
Yeah. Hang on. Hang on. Oh. Mm. She's talking about how kind y'all were to her. You're very kind.
You tried.
Yeah. Make sure it's good. Always sure it's warm. Always making. She's talking about like getting. Would she get lost in your house?
Yeah, the last time that she was in the house, probably a course of the year, her dementia started getting really bad, and she would she just wasn't present. She would just sit there and check out, or she'd see things that weren't there. Um, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Because she's showing me like standing in the corner of a room or like just sitting in a chair and
yeah,
like just feeling lost, but there's no expression behind it. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay. Well, does your husband ever have a ponytail?
No,
Okay. I don't know why she's showing me that. I'm like, you feel
he had a mullet.
yes. Yeah. Because she's showing me like
Until he
longer.
met me.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, we had the hair talk after about dating 6 or 7 months. We sat down and had the hair talk.
Really? Because she's
Yeah,
showing, I'm like, this guy's really clean cut. I'm like, what is this? But then she's showing me like this long hair, and I'm like, what?
yeah,
Like,
the mullet,
longer?
the mullet.
Oh my god. Okay, okay. Hang on, hang on, hold on. Wait, you and him didn't have kids of your own?
No, we have dogs.
Gotcha. Okay, because I was like, well, what about their grand? I was like, what about their grandkids? How they going? She goes, oh, they never had kids of their own. Hang on.
No, no, we had 5 together.
That
Yeah,
would make sense. Yeah, you had enough. Now, for y'all, you were focusing in a different direction at that point. Hang on. Wait. I'm asking her what else she wants to say. Do you have any questions for her right now?
um, not really questions. Maybe something to say to her
Yeah, go for it.
and tell her Heidi's okay.
Hang on. Hang on. Hold on. Why were we worried about her for a little while?
Oh, her mom was always worried about her. It's my husband's younger sister that lives with us that is autistic.
Okay. She's like, we're always worried about her. We're always worried about her for a little
Yeah,
while.
they've I've had feelings that they frequent my house a lot. My in-laws.
They do. They totally do. Hold
Yeah,
on, let me see if I can pull him forward. What is her husband's name?
John.
Okay. Hang on. Oh, do we feel like in a way that her disease really kicked up once John passed?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. She said, I think it's well, not she, he, it's kind of like both. He's like, oh, her demise happened when I left. Hang on. Wait, would she talk to him when she had dementia? Would she see
Oh,
him?
oh yeah. Yep. I would
Okay.
I would go to see her and she'd say, "Oh, Grandpa was here again." She would say the weirdest thing. This is when she's at the rest home. She would say, "I woke up and he was standing nude in the hallway." She had a sense of humor about her.
Okay, because
Or
he
that he
just
kept her up all night, laying in bed with her. And,
okay,
we'd be like, oh, okay.
because he just said he said, tell them that was really real. Tell
Oh,
them
I
I
know it was. I know it was.
okay. Oh, that's crazy. Sorry, just to have them come through and say that, I'm like, what? Okay, I all of my stuff is still an experiment, even for me. I learn every day.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He
Wow,
was very present in our lives, and I really believe that he just kind of lingered around until she passed.
that's
And
what.
then once she passed, I felt their presence was gone.
Yeah, it's a release. It's a
Yeah.
release. They very much are. Like that's when I just said I was like, well, it's like her, but him saying it, it's they feel almost like wrapped up together,
Oh, they
like
are. Yeah, definitely.
part of one, and it's oh, it's cool. Oh, hang on. Let me get into John more. It's funny with him because he would show himself to her at all different ages.
Yeah.
He's older, but then he's also showing like really young. Did they get married when he was like 21?
Um, he was probably a little bit older because he was in the service for a number of years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. He has a good head of hair whenever she's talking to him. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
hmm, hmm. That was my John. He saved me. Hang on. Oh, she said we're finally with each other and we're not letting it go. Hold on. She's talking about you. She's like, you take care of my son and keep doing what you're doing. Hang on. Keep him on his toes. Hang on. Hang on. Wait. Watch his weight, though. Is your husband gaining weight?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, watch his weight, though. He's getting a little fat. Like,
Yeah. I am.
okay. Oh,
We both are.
cool. Hang on. Hold on. Welcome to the city of food and no walking.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I've seen more queso in my life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gringos will be the thing. Hang on. Hold on. Yeah, she's good. She's good. Tell your husband they popped in. Tell your he's good too. He feels very much enveloped in her. Almost like I said, almost like they're the exact same entity, but you can tell that's two parts, male and female. Hang on. I want to figure out how he passed first too. And then we'll move on. Whoever this woman is, there's a double one. There's like one and then there's a level above her. Is your mother and her mother passed as well?
My mom passed away.
Cool. Okay, because it's like boom, boom. That's a double level. Everybody's in queue. You just. These are my favorite sessions when it's just like do what you want, and then I'm like yes, because you're very open and free, and they enjoy it. Hang on. Hold on. She's stroking his hand. Hang on. With John, when he's passing, was he fighting off two things before he passed? Did he have like a heart condition plus a disease underneath it?
Yeah, he had congenital heart failure, but he was also on dialysis, which is but actually he was doing really well, but what he actually choked on an egg salad sandwich, and it started this whole his favorite sandwich. It started this whole progression of things and his blood pressure, and wasn't it just didn't go well, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Because he's going through. I'm asking him like, what did you die of? What did you die of? And he makes me feel all this pressure in my heart, like this area, and then he makes me feel like this underlying, not cancer. That's not it, but it's like this underlying congenital thing that's going on too. Hang on.
Yeah.
He said the bite, he said it wasn't even a big bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just choked, and it
Yeah.
just this whole scenario.
It almost feels like did he have like bleeding in his brain or something like that too that comes from this?
No, he had bleeding in his chest.
Okay. Okay. Because he's showing me blood and he's keeping it all, but it's not external. It's just all here. And I'm like, what is that? Hang on. She's showing him as a strong man. She grabs his hand.
Oh, yeah. He's very strong.
Very strong.
My
She talks
husband's a lot like his dad.
yeah. I talk about whenever they show me strength, they show me like his hands and like his forearms and like how he's like,
Yeah.
hang on. Good man service.
He was a milkman for a number of years. Had his own milk truck, and he would jump off and on the truck, delivering the old glass bottles.
That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had that symbol before because she keeps showing me like pulling up with this area and having like these big muscles in our forearms. I'm like, what are we doing? Hang on.
Yeah.
Was he okay? So they're showing me water. Was he Navy or Marines?
He was Army.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, weird that he's Army, but weird that they show me water. Hang on.
Well, he did travel to Korea on a ship.
Oh, so he was always okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, because he's showing me being like a lot inside of water area, and I'm like, maybe he was just stationed on the coast a lot too. I don't know. Hold on. He's proud. He's proud of his son. He's proud of him. Says, tell him I'm proud of him.
yeah, my husband is. I think my husband is sensitive because he's had a few different things happen where he's actually seen his dad in his dreams. He's spoken to him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially so if his dad has had a lot of time with coming up and being able to be seen by her, so he's almost had practice in coming to dreams and coming to fruition and all of that stuff. So it's almost like training. So of course he'd be able to show up in dreams very easily, like not a problem with that, especially since he's been watching out. Let me go. So let him know about that. I want to go into your mom too. Can you give me her first name?
Patricia.
It's interesting because I did a spirit box session earlier and a name, like before anything, when I was meditating, and a name came through of Pat. And I was like, okay.
That's her name.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, Pat. I was like, who's Pat? I'm like, either Patrick or Patricia or something like that. Hang on. Let me see. Very different dynamic. Hang on. Would you hold on. Were you taking care of your mother as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because she's talking about you arguing back and forth with her or something like that, or like bossing her around. She's like, oh, she would argue, she da. Hang on. But then she's also talking about how even like growing up, you were a really good daughter when it comes to that too. Hang on. Like she shows me the extremes of both. Hang on. Couldn't wipe my ass. She did it for me. Hang on. She says she wasn't as sprightly as his mom. So she's a little bit more low key than his mom, correct?
My mom?
Yeah.
No, my mom was high maintenance.
Okay. Hang on. Hold on.
Mike's mom was really low key compared to my mom.
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe she's talking about how she is now. She's like, I wasn't as sprightly as her. I'm not as sprightly as her. I'm like, that's a weird word to say. Hang on. Did you do her nails?
I when I was younger, yeah, I would do her feet.
All that, okay. Because she's just showing me like toes and hands getting like but
Yeah,
somebody
the
actively doing.
toes, the toes.
Okay. Hang on. She's making me feel short hair for some reason. Oh my god. Hold on. Let me get in with her. Did your mom pass before her? Before my other
Yeah,
one?
my mom passed 13 years ago.
How long?
About 13 years, 2008.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I was like, this one is much more recent because she feels much more close. That's why I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
Teresa was 2018.
Oh
About
wow.
10 years difference.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because it almost feels like, so what happens when you channel like further out? It's almost like you reach into a bag further and you're having to like grab them out further. It's like fishing deeper in the ocean. Hang on. Hang on. Wait. Oh, she had. Wait, did mom have cancer?
She had ovarian cancer prior. That's not what killed her. She had a
No,
stroke. But
okay.
she did have cervical cancer.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Oh,
She just was a mess for probably a good 7 or 8 years.
my God. Okay. Yeah, because she's comparing. So she shows like I had cancer and she compares it to me. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so you had this too. Hang on. She said, I got it all taken out. So they took everything out. They gave her a total. Okay.
I think what gave her the cancer was the hormone replacement therapy. It was a drug called Premarin that they put her on. And that's what we believe gave her the cancer.
I took Premarin. I had a hysterectomy at 23,
Yep.
and it gave me some interesting side effects.
Yeah, that's really what my mom believed. She swore by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's interesting though, the day my mom passed, they pulled us. My mom, she held on, literally held on, until we were all there in the room with her. And after she passed, they pulled us aside, minus my dad. They wanted to do an autopsy because they said that they had found a mass in her lungs and asked if she was a smoker. We said no, but they said there was a good chance that she had lung cancer. And did we want to do an autopsy? We said no because my dad was a chronic smoker. So between my brothers and I, we just kind of made a decision to keep it to ourselves.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I get it. I was like, usually that's a big hit. I can tell you my grandfather was a chronic smoker and he passed 15 years ago. And then my grandmother got lung cancer and she wasn't at all. And
Yeah,
that's what.
I just lost my dad this past June he had 4 different types of cancer.
That's all different. Give me his name too.
Bill, his name's William. Bill.
Hang on. Really?
Yeah.
Hang on.
I took care of him too.
Everybody. That's okay. That's why you have so many different people. This is so, God, God, let me know. I'd love to continue this because everyone to like build the connection, get them through. It's intense. Hang on. Wait. Bill said, okay, maybe Bill's coming through for her. Bill said, was he very grumpy with you?
Yes, especially towards the end.
Okay, because he says, tell her that I appreciated her care. Like I didn't get to say that. Like I didn't show that enough. Like I didn't, allow that to happen. Hang on. He's talking about just being ready to die. Like he was just over it at that
Oh yeah.
point.
Oh yeah.
Done.
COVID didn't help. So
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Mm. Rotten weight. So he was in a hospital bed? He was in the
Yeah.
hospital.
He
He
died
said
in a hospital. We couldn't go see him or anything.
he said, do you know how lonely it was in that hospital bed?
Yeah, I know. I think I got to FaceTime him once.
He's talking about like the murmur of the TV and like that's like it's just or whatever this murmur is that you hear. Like and all life is just going around him and he's just like, what's the whole point? What's the whole point? Hang on. Hold on. Would your mom and him banter back and forth all the time?
Yes.
Okay. Because he says, oh, she was there waiting for me. Not that I know that she really wanted to. And she's like, ha, like that, like just laughing back at him. And so I'm like, oh, there's this funny banter. Hang on. And she's like, of course I was. I had to take care of you. And he's like, oh, what do you mean? And this is funny. Hang on. So he's talking like the kids are all right. So like you and them, he's like, kids are all right. He was like, and your dad's funny. He's like, I guess this one stole the show. So talking about his mom, like stole the show, like our session or whatever it is. Hang on. She's just like, just let him know that I'm fine. Let him know that I'm fine. Hang on. Hold on. So now he's talking about you setting your husband straight. I like him. He's a good guy. That's all in sarcasm though. So
Yeah.
God. Okay. So right now in closing for right now, do you have any questions for me right now?
Just want to know if they're happy. All of them.
They are. They're good. They're good. I would love to channel more on them. Like they are vibrant, they are wonderful, they're fabulous. So let me know if you want me again. I'd be honored to do it, honestly. They are fine. They are good. Everybody is hanging out. It's like a big family reunion. So whenever it's time for y'all to go, don't worry about it. They got you. Okay?
Good.
Another thing is when we get off right now, I want you to take 5 minutes and I want you to have a good breather. Okay. I also want you to tell them thank you. That's a big thing too. Because it's all about thankfulness and everything like that, appreciation, admiration. If you have any questions for me, if you think of anything, just email me. If you need me again, email me first. Okay. And then I just move you up and put you in a spot. I always like to channel people all together. So if you need, just let me know. I'll just put you as like a last session and we can go forever how long. But just take a few minutes, have a good breather. And if you have any questions, just hit me up. Okay.
Okay. And you be well. I'll pray for you.
Thank you. I will be doing this for the rest of my life. And I've been giving many, many, many life chances and from my disease, and I'm not messing it up. And I know when it is time, then it'll be cool.
Yeah.
So
you're right. We'll be well.
I love you. Thank you, Mary. You're wonderful.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye.